In this presentation, we will be looking at an introduction to ecology. Ecology itself is the study of interactions among organisms and among organisms in their environment. During our unit on ecology, we will be looking at both biotic interactions, the interactions between living organisms, and abiotic interactions, which are the interactions between living organisms and the non-living areas around them. If you guys find this stuff interesting as we go, and you need another science credit here at Wake Tech, I strongly suggest you take environmental science, which is Bio 140. Bio 140 is a lot of application of the information that we will look at in this unit. Ecology itself is broken down into different scales, such as an organism, population, community, ecosystem, or the biosphere. An organism is one single individual that we can study in their environment. A population, which we've defined before, is a group of organisms of the same species living in the same area that generally can reproduce together. A community is going to be a larger scale where we look at multiple populations and how they interact together. An ecosystem takes our community, all of the living organisms in an area, and it adds in the abiotic factors such as weather, nutrient and energy cycling, and water cycles. The largest scale of ecology is looking at the biosphere, where we investigate global patterns. Organismal ecology often studies an organism's structures, physiology, and behaviors, and how those help the animal or organism meet the environmental challenges it must face. Population ecology studies factors that affect the population's growth, density, and size over time. We can look at distributions, how the animals or organisms are spread out in their environment, as well as intraspecific interactions, those between individuals of the population. Community ecology studies interspecific interactions, which are interactions between the different populations. We can look at things like disturbances, richness and density, and succession of our community. Ecosystems study energy flow, nutrient cycling, and trophic interactions. This takes into account abiotic factors such as nutrients or energy flow, as well as interactions with the living organisms. The biosphere refers to our entire globe. We will see global patterns and their effect on the lower levels of ecology, such as ecosystems and communities. Here's a review question. When we are thinking about how many lobsters live off of the coast of New England, we may be analyzing a population. We are looking at how many lobsters there are in one area. Ecology usually requires a population perspective or higher. Most ecological processes cannot be observed with just an individual. Again, we are studying interactions, so it's hard to study all of the interactions without looking at a whole population, a whole community, or a whole ecosystem. In the following lectures, we will be looking at global patterns that will affect every other level of ecology. And then we are going to jump back to population ecology, looking at our population interactions, community ecology, looking at species interactions and species diversity. And then we will look at ecosystem ecology, where we study the biotic community as well as the abiotic factors that affect them.